This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Man United we're talking about.
This is Manchester 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 United we're talking about.
Oh, this is Manchester United we're talking about.
It's Manchester United we're talking about. Manchester United we're talking about here.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
I mean, this is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
This is Manchester United we're talking about.
It's Man United we're talking about. It's Man United we're talking about. It is Man United we're talking about. It's Manchester United we're talking about.
It's Man United we're talking about. This is Man United we're talking about.
It's Manchester United we're talking about.
We're talking about Manchester United.
Love people. Big up to anyone that's just joined over from Never a Foul. This is my channel, Cass, where we're going to be talking about Man United news. You know, we got Mbeumo's price. We spoke a little bit about it earlier, so we're going to dive into that. We're going to talk about these wage demands, potentially if they're true or not. Who cares? Let's talk about it properly in depth. We've got this Casemiro being transfer listed. Bruno is staying. It came out yesterday that, you know, Casemiro will be looking, well, Man United will be looking to shift him and probably gain all that wage back. Not too sure if I agree, but I understand if it's to happen, but I don't really want it to happen either. And Nathan Salt came out about raising funds again. It does kind of seem as if Cobby is, you know, if there's a some sort of bid that comes in from that Manchester United might like, then I feel they might entertain it. So it looks like nobody's really safe. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. There's no new Gyökeres stuff if people are asking what's going on there. I haven't actually seen much about that, so I'm not entirely sure. I need to kind of look. Here we go. The United stuff. I usually follow what they call United exclusive. That's the page I follow. I've got them. They're kind of annoying though. But yeah, Galatasaray's interested in Jadon Sancho. I suppose we can talk a little bit about that as well. Not that I really give a shit, but yeah, here we are. Make sure you smash the like button. That's very important. You know, also subscribe if you're brand new. If you like Manchester United content or you just like hearing me waffle, then fair play. If you're interested in a Discord, then you know it's there as well. If you hear any beeps, you know that little Discord that goes dun. Yeah, that's my bad. Is what it is. Big up Mo Stacks in the building. He says, big up in my garden billing a zoo. United is depressing. I mean, I'm not depressed. I'm not depressed about United stuff. I'm over the moon. I mean, how greedy can we get? You know, in booms. Nah, I've been having that so Raven visions. You know, I'm delighted as shit. I mean, I want the next best thing. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, we'll see what happens there. David, the salary demand is obviously fake news. LOL, and we paid 250k. LOL, who cares? We'll talk about that in a sec, David. Cass, your opinion on Noah Lang at PSV, bro, please. He seems like a talent. I'll give him that. I'm not gonna act and sit here like I know loads about him. I saw him play against Arsenal. I'm not gonna say he was the best. I'm not too sure. Who else is here as well? Big up Hennessy, I see yourself. Big up Abdi Ali, Blue Moon, Broderick, you're always here, so love for that, man. And Sonny Milan. But yeah, look, let's talk about this Mbeumo stuff. It came out from, was it Mail? I'm pretty sure it was from, well, Alex Crook, who's an absolute, he's rubbish. I'm gonna say it nice and early. He's crap. I don't even know how he's even deemed a journalist. He's just like someone that hangs around, you know, talk sport, and then you know he gets put on blast. But not just him. I think like he's feeding off of what's been said from, I think his name's Lee Ryder. I'm pretty sure. I think that's what's his name. And apparently who's Mbeumo, Cass? That's how you say his name. I'm not joking. You know what? If I could get up the interview right now and how you say Mbeumo, I would. You know what? You know what? How about this? Stay with me for a second. All right, that's Sky Sports. Can't do that. I might be able to play this one here. Love. Here we go. I'm going to share the screen right now. Brian Mbeumo. the hell is this live? Who gives a crap? Right. You lot can see this, yeah? Can you not hear this?
Brian Mbeumo. Brian Mbeumo.
Can you not hear that? Mbeumo. Yeah, but that's the English way of saying it. What do you want me to say? Mbeumo. Do you want me to say it like this guy? Brian Mbeumo. That should be put that to bed, man. Put that in the locker, man. Come on. That's been put to bed. That's how you say it. Brian Mbeumo. It's Mbeumo, isn't it? I don't care if it's like a cow, my bad. It's like we say David, they say David. Love. It's like it's Mbeumo, so allow it. You lot are crazy. But yeah, from what's been said about this wage demand of 250, let's break it down. He's on 45k per week at Brentford. Big up Jonathan Hammond in the building. 45k per week at Brentford. Now, I realistically can't see United saying, okay, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to put you on 250 and accept that wage demand. I don't see them breaking the 200k kind of barrier at the moment. If you look what they paid for Cunha and accepted with Cunha, then it doesn't make sense why United would put a big up for the gifted 5 memberships, by the way. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Appreciated. Always supporting. Back to the Mbeumo, I can't see him putting him on pretty much 5 point whatever times the amount. That's just not good negotiation. United need to earn their respect back in this transfer market and play hardball. You know, most teams do this thing where they pay a base wage and then everything else is through incentive. Incentives mean if you want to earn your money, of course, as you would know, I don't need to tell you, you better go and perform, right? So for me, United would be setting a bad example if they ever did go down that route. I don't think Ineos would. And I don't think players can say, oh, well, Mason Mount is on said money, Sancho's on said money, when it's quite obvious and apparent that United are trying to get rid of your Jadon Sancho's, your Rashfords. That's kind of clear. That's the message has gone through. Now, if you put someone like that on your 250, straight away, that's on 45k. Then when it does come down to wanting a new deal with like 3 years down the line, then you're going to have to pay them even more. United need to set the example, and I think United can't afford it. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's stupid. It's just, I don't understand why it would go down that route of doing stuff like that. It's not confirmed. I agree, Sam. It's not confirmed either, and I can't see United paying beyond. I can't really see us paying beyond what Cunha gets paid. I see about 180. What do you lot agree with? 180? 180, I think 180 is a good balance. You know, you look at someone like Mazraoui, I think he's on 130. I think if you go even further down, Yora's 115. I can see him getting more than 3 times his wage. I think anything between 150 and 180, I can see that. I think it's definitely a good jump from where he's at, 100k more, 3 times the amount. I think maybe even 160, 70, maybe even 190. 190 is not sad. I'm not even if you went on 200k, I don't really mind, but I feel like United can definitely have something in the locker to say, you know what, we believe this is fair. Your client's got fair. If you want to boost up by bonuses, every time he scores a goal, he's going to get said amount of money. So that's why I do love the fact that he's on a low wage compared to someone like Cunha. If you do believe Cunha was on that 120 apparent, and then it went up to like 160. I'm pretty sure he went something like that. He was on 90, went to 120. But I saw a report that he was 150. Of course, he's going to get that bumper up to 200. You're one of the best in the league. That means you're going to be demanding what the best in the league have. Mbeumo has had 3 great seasons in the Premier League. Coming up from Brentford, I think he got 9 goals and 7 assists, so 16 GA. Then the next season, he had Tony, that was out, 9 goals and 6 assists. You can't really knock that. And then this year, he's come with 20 goals, obviously on penalty duties as well. And then I think he had like 7 or 8 assists. So on that note, it's you are one of the best in the league in your position. You was in demand by Arsenal, Newcastle, Tottenham, and maybe a few other teams that showed small interest for his signature. Then that kind of tells me you can demand for what the best in the league have. So it's not stupid. Big up Moyes. He says, big up Cass. I also think that sometimes we should be considering that these players ask for high wages because they are considering the taxes as well. Yeah, English tax, of course it is. But, their lifestyle, you're gonna demand more money, of course. So yeah, absolutely no respect. Man, United are binning off working class people minimum wage just to offer millionaires a F off pay rise. Graham, I'm not gonna deny that either. For me, in my opinion, that United employ 3 times the amount of people that most clubs employ. You know, they done their audit, and even some of the job positions that come out, like a body language expert. The way business works, which is pretty much every day for a billionaire, you're going to look at it and think, well, you're a failing business. You finished. And look, my heart goes out a little bit to all these guys that have lost their jobs, but this happens in business all the time. You know, if you're a failing business, you're going to lose your job. It's unfortunate the way it is, but they're billionaires. They should be able to afford this, but it doesn't work like that. You know, how do billionaires become billionaires in the first place? You know, non-football staff and all this, it's not. Come on, like you're gonna have to trim the fat. Like United are broke. United need money. United need to get back on the perch, and then probably employ the correct people. So you have to be ruthless in business. Otherwise, you can't. You know, if you're gonna do moral police all the time, then come on, you're not gonna get anywhere. You know, this isn't a charity at the end of the day. It's a business. Football is business. It's gone beyond than just football stuff. So it's a shame though. But if you're good at your job, by the way, if you're overstaffed, but if you're good at your job, you're going to go and get another job. That's just the way it works. You know, that's the way I look at it. Until you hear Laurie Whitwell, Ornstein's Fabrizio mention his wages, don't believe it. I'm going to say Ben Jacobs at this point as well. Dare I say his name? But yeah, the wages is another thing to behold. I'm just curious what it might be. I think as United fans, you know, we have to pocket watch a little bit. You know, we care about our club. And we want to know that our owners or the one that are leading the sporting direction are not exactly going beyond and stupid. That's it. Absolutely, most stacks. I agree. Israel, Cass, what salary is Mbeumo asking for? Again, no one knows. No one actually knows. I don't believe it's the 250. I think someone's jumped the gun because they don't like the fact that he's going to Man United. Look how much discourse has gone out online. The fact that Mbeumo is what's it called, choosing Man United and Cunha. People can't believe the fact that, you know, these two players who are at clubs that are a lot lower than Man United in terms of the size are choosing Manchester United over the likes of Aston Villas and Newcastle's. What? It's not my fault your club doesn't want to give him the wages. It's not my fault that your club can't compete, even though you're Champions League. Why is that our fault? Because all the time they just want to moan, like, stop being like, look, you're going to get your business done and secure. But if you really wanted it to player, you would have gone and game. You would have done your groundwork early doors. So that's the way I look at it. It's just, it's not, don't blame Man United. It's not our fault. And I try to be fair to most teams as well. They can't find his walking stats. Hey, I got told this yesterday by a Soups. So yeah. But yeah. Make sure you smash the likes. What likes are we on? 53. What's this? Donna's YouTube channel. Oh, are you now, Donna? Well, that's nice to see that. Good luck on your journey of becoming a full-time YouTuber now. They did the same thing with Dan Ashworth. They said we paid 20 million. Turns out we paid 3 million to get him. Yeah, exactly. Exactly that. What's this? No, that's not it. But yeah, we're on 62 likes. Make sure you smash the like button. Cass, you signed two of the biggest XG scammers from last season. Come on. Why are we doing... See, already, Axe, you're a Chelsea fan, aren't you? This is what we're going to get. Track record of overperforming the XG. Who gives a fuck what XG says? Is my eyes telling me they can score a goal when they're in front of the goalkeeper? Yes or no? Is my eyes telling me they can create for their team and make a nuisance to the other side? Like, I don't care what a stat says about overperforming. Yeah, look, Mbeumo probably is not going to get another 20 Premier League goals in Manchester United side, but do I give a shit? Am I guaranteed that I'm going to see Cunha and Mbeumo get double figures in the Premier League in terms of each? In terms of like just 10 goals minimum. I'm already doing better than I've done before. So, yeah. Anywho, smash the likes. With 67. I want to see 100, man. I just want to see 100. Please. There's 370 people in here. So 100 likes would be nice. If anyone wants the Discord, where we all talk, you know, so when you're away from screen, you want to talk or talk football, and it's all different pages you can talk in as well. So just let me know and I'll send a link, or someone else can do that. But moving on to the fee that we're gonna have to be forking out to, you know, to go and get him. I've seen from Fabrizio last night say a video that apparently Brentford's not happy the way this is played out publicly, but that's not going to tarnish anything. So that's one thing on that. The second part for me, again, is what he said is about, you know, unfortunately, Brentford value Mbeumo something similar to what Cunha's doing. So if we're going to pay 62.5 million for Cunha, which is a release clause, by the way, which is different, then United need to be forking out something the same. United then, but therefore believe they can get this lower. But if that's their highball offer, and we was looking around 50 million, if anyone thought Mbeumo was going to go for 50 million, then guess again, it's just not happening, is it? But Brendan Jacobs even added today, which I'm going to read out, it's just that United are now in talks with Brentford directly over Bryan Mbeumo. So after getting permission and blah, 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 he's chosen United. 50 million plus is required. So as Mbeumo's 1 year option, Brentford can trigger. So he can technically have 2 years left on his contract alongside the 12 months, meaning they don't feel under pressure to sell. Now, I don't know how good Brentford are when it comes to negotiations or how, you know, stubborn they're going to be, but I don't know what a fair fee is, but I'm not fussed. If United say we're going to pay 60 million for Mbeumo, then, you know, 60 million is going to be what it's going to be. I'm not too fussed. I don't mind that. Whereas if it's 55 million, again, even better. Even if United had to pay something similar to Cunha, like 62 million, once again, I'm kind of over the moon with it. I'm not fussed about the fee too much. So I don't see how it's going to work, but I can see United doing something where you give them 50 million and then you probably give them add-ons. Add-ons make sense. Add-ons, it's just the way it works. You know, it's not exactly a release clause, so add-ons are not going to be used for that. For Mbeumo, yeah, if you can get him for like 45 million plus 50 million add-ons, great, but they're going to have to be achievable. I just don't see, as a base fee, though, I don't see Brentford accepting anything less than a 50 million guaranteed upfront fee to get that man's signature. We already know when it comes to United, we always get United tax. No, but and we're going to have to still act a little bit broke. But with 50 million with a 62, that means we got a little bit of room. Apparently, we got 125 million to play with. So technically, we got 15 million left. Can we still go get Vanya with that money? Hayden Hackney is one that we can maybe go and get. Just saying. I like Hayden Hackney, though. Again, it's Toby Collier, but on crack. But Toby Collier, I'm not going to lie, he's a good player. Not really seeing much else when it comes to Surrounded United. 50 million with add-ons with things like 10 goals achieved. Yeah, something definitely achievable. Something definitely achievable. We ain't paying no 250k. Again, I agree, King. I think it's all fake news. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it plays out. We're gonna get. You know what's funny? My nose, my hay fever, man. I feel like we're gonna get more news by Friday. It's funny how, you know, United never used to be this fast in the transfer market. Like we've been so diabolical that the fact that we're getting something done quick is bamboozling. Like it's literally bamboozling the whole world of football in terms of United fans. Like how in a space of a week we got the here we go of Cunha just to say, you know what, Mbeumo's accepted. Oi, Alex Crook. There's a good reason why his name's Crook. So yeah, you're just here to rattle anyways, Axe. But yeah, I just don't know. I've just never seen it before. I've just never seen, especially for two players like that. It's just, how do you even get there? So what's the next one? I am hoping that we're in for the striker next. I don't know if it's going to be done. I don't know who right now, but at the moment, the options are looking limited. You know, even with Laurie Whitwell coming out yesterday saying Amram's a huge admirer of Gyökeres, tells me, and then there was the other part on top of that saying he's told United board straight after Europa, we need to be aiming for higher, better players. Kind of just tells me that he wants Gyökeres no matter what. And I don't know who's going to go and get this man. I really don't. I haven't seen anything beyond it. It's all gone quite quiet as well with Gyökeres. Arsenal still said to maybe be in there. That's what fans are hoping. I still think they are. But yeah, we need to start speaking it into existence because I'd prefer Mateta, but that's just gone absolutely flat. This manager clearly wants a striker that runs in behind, clear as day. And I don't blame him, to be fair. I just don't see how... you know what it is? Those three on paper, to me, the balance don't make sense. It really doesn't, but good footballers will always find a way to work. But on balance, it doesn't make sense. I would like to see maybe, you know, Mbeumo back post, Gyökeres tap-ins. I can hear it. You know, Cunha as well. That's the one for me. I don't know how Gyökeres and Cunha work. I can see Mbeumo working with him, but it's the Cunha one. That's why I was like, oh, are they going to operate in the same kind of spaces? Gyökeres just left. Cunha goes in the middle. It sounds great on paper if you're playing FIFA, but I just don't know. I feel like there needs to be someone that's a little bit better at holding up the ball in terms of like more clean, so like brute strength as well. Mateta said he wants to stay at Pat. I don't care what Mateta says. He's got 1 year left on his contract. He's obligated to say that because he's under contract. You're not gonna not say that. You know, you have to, you know, big up yourself for whatever team you're at. That's just normal stuff. Osman is going. Kiss the Osman one goodbye. I did see that, you know, maybe United need to restructure the wage or something for him, but I don't see it. And more AFCON tax. Yeah, good luck, man. Cass, give us your dream first 11 starters for the new season with the current and potential signings that you would want at the club. Oh, you want me to basically do that build 11 stuff? I think I want Vanya in goal. You know, the starting three, I don't care. You know the back three, like Delict, Euro, or Mazraoui, and then Heaven. I think I'm quite sold on that. I would love Wharton, personally. Bruno doesn't fit into my dream 11, but he's here to stay, so let's just use him for now. But let's just say Wharton and Bruno. Ahmad, right wing back. Left wing back, I'm sorry, but my dream isn't Dorgu, innit? I would like to go get someone that I call Gutierrez. Is that his name? Miguel Gutierrez from Girona. I think he's wicked, man. Can he handle it in the league? I don't really care. We'll see how that does. Cunha and Mbeumo. Probably Mateta. But something tells me like Gyökeres is a little bit more scary than Mateta up front. But I'm just thinking about doing something in the Prem. So kind of Gyökeres is a little bit more of a dream signing than Mateta. Mateta is just makes more sense just to me. But yeah, Casemiro. Casemiro is, bro, like, you know, we talk about experience in and around the side and model professionalism and I think the way United are going is it the right time to let someone like him go? That's my biggest question, and that's probably to you lot as well. Like, would you want that to disappear so soon? You know, especially when you've got new players coming in and around the team. That's the one for me. Does it fit or not? Like, is this the best time to say goodbye? If there is something that is to come of that, you know, he's on hefty wages. You take away 25%, it's still hefty wages. Wouldn't you take Baleba? No, I don't want Baleba. Again, I'm going to say it nice and clear. AFCON tax. I don't want to see half the team go to AFCON, especially at good teams. But again, for me, with Casemiro leaving, you know, we're talking about a measly 10 to 15 million fee as well. But then with all those wages, you're saving something like 15 million per year. Now, I always think of Chelsea when they lost Thiago Silva at that time, and then where was the experience in and around the team? I know we've got Bruno as the captain, but it's for me with Casemiro, like any young player that's going to come in, I don't think there's going to be many. Like, who's the model professional there? Do you get what I mean? Who's going to one that's going to settle in Cunha in the team as well? You know, you've got that direct, you know, Brazilian national, like Brazilian counterpart, Brazilian teammate. You know, I always think of clicks sometimes at teams. I just feel like he's that guy for me. I think Bruno has those qualities. I think he's nothing but good things are said about Bruno, but Casemiro's won 5 Champions Leagues. I just don't want to have that moment where there's just, you know, it's like something's missing in a dressing room, potentially. Someone to keep everyone together. I feel like he's kind of like that. I know, and even for his like legacy alone, and maybe this is a little bit more, what's the word exactly? Maybe this is just being too emotional with it or too emotionally attached. It's just like his legacy leaving Manchester United could be, you know, put in a better place than what he's left. No, not going to, you know, Champions League, let alone flipping, you know, not winning the trophy, like his first European job. I don't know the way he leave. I just don't know if it's the best time. That's it. And him being put on a transfer list as well, because United are actively looking to sell him, is just, well, who's going to take him? Does Saudi take him? I'm not entirely sure. If he makes sense for over there, maybe Ronaldo might want him. I don't know. World Cup next summer as well. You know, he's going to want a big team. Ancelotti still likes him. Yeah, sentimental. That's the correct word. I don't know. Do we just move on as a club? You know, start getting all these players out and start moving it correct? There's so many questions around it. It'd be kind of weird. So yeah, that's it. We're definitely transitioning into something, hopefully into something high up pitch possession. I hear it, but I feel like that experience, you know, when you want that player to come on the pitch and lock things down or even add an extra threat because he's really good in the air. I think Casemiro can play that role next season. You know, let's say you're winning 2-0 against Man City. Who do you want to come on the pitch? Not really Agate, do you? You want to see Casemiro probably come and lock things down. I think he's got a role to play. But there's too many sources saying it's like along the line saying that, you know, he's United are looking to remove him. So yeah, it's hard, man. Casmo, bro. Big up AK the legend, man. Casmo, sorry I joined late. If Rasmus goes to Inter, let's get one thing straight. Let's get one thing straight. Whatever's happening at Inter Milan right now, yeah, we're not selling no one to them. I big up for the raid. There's some Red Devil United raid. Big up to anyone that's joining over. Or whatever's going on with Inter Milan, we are not. I can't see Højlund going there anymore. There's this whole discourse around them about, you know, 300 million in fake investments of different companies. Even though something similar that's going on into one of the clubs in the Premier League at the moment. So it's looking a little bit lethal. Do you know what I mean? It's not looking exactly the best. I don't see how Rasmus goes there, you know, but it could be one of those things that take years. And it's like, okay, but Cesc Fabregas is about to take over, allegedly, right? So something tells me that they're not bothered. It's just allegations. And it could take 3 to 4 years of those allegations to come to fruition. It happened back in 2016 to the 19 period. I'm kind of hoping that they're still fixated. But Fabregas doesn't scream Højlund for me. For me, I don't see how someone like Fabregas likes that or likes a profile like his. With Marcus Thuram and Lautaro Martinez there, it's just, I just don't see how Højlund fits really in unless Inter are the one pushing to go and get him. Yeah, maybe Lindelof goes, but Lindelof is on a free. He's on a free anyway, so it's not even a big fuss. But I don't know, this Højlund stuff, I'm just hoping and praying he's not a part of this squad. I don't want to see him next year. Imagine you know, you need a goal. You need some fresh legs and Højlund comes on and you got Cunha there and Mbeumo. They must look at him thinking, oh my God, what are we playing with? I don't really want to see his existence anymore. I've had enough. I feel like all of us have had enough of him as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Rasmus. I think Rasmus works for us in the striker role because you do not support Manchester United. What's your other comment? You know what? You're going under investigation. What else have you said? What else have you said? Have you said anything before? Have you just joined? Let me see this. I think we'll be a transitioning team instead of a high up the pitch possession team this new season with Cunha's high tech. They're not high technical players. Oh my God, you that's an awful take. They're not technical. I think Ramos works for us in a striker. Oh my God, I said that. Wait, hold on. I'm literally looking at it from afar. My bad. It says Ramos. I thought it said Rasmus. That is my bad, Fabulous. I'm so sorry. I'm not even kidding. I've got this PTSD with Rasmus. I'm using Rasmus. You talking about Gonzalo, yeah. Oh yeah, Gonzalo Ramos has got great link up, but he's not physical for the my head was about to go to Mars straight to Mars. I'm not having that. I'm not having that at all. All right, can we get the likes up, please, people? That's not any better. It was the likes on 125. We could definitely do that. If anyone wants to join the Discord, it's right here. Please join the Discord. It's so active. I'm gonna pin it as well so people can find it. And if you're watching on your TVs, you could just take a screenshot on your phone or something, and then you can pretty much type. Well, can you? I think you can type it in your phone on your Safaris. So if you're on watching TVs, then it should be a direct link straight away. If you do have that. What's this? Let me put this. I'm about to time you out. My bad. Yeah, Sergio Ramos is crazy. I'll see if anyone got any questions. Eric, would you say you need someone that can link up play if you get Cunha and Mbeumo? Mateo would be excellent signings. That's exactly what I was thinking about balance. You know, Gyökeres doesn't scream balance when it comes to Mbeumo and Cunha, especially if you look at the players that they were playing with, aka, you know, you had Johan Visser, who was great at link up. You look at Strand Larson, great at link up. So for me, I look at someone like Mateta and think you're perfect. You know, he's a goal scorer that's got good link up, especially holding up the ball. Especially if you've got two players running behind, it makes sense. You know, when you look at someone like Xerxes, not exactly a goal scorer, but someone that can be kind of basically like a Bobby Firmino, like nothing like him. Bobby Firmino's levels above him, but a different kind of profile. Someone that's great at holding up the ball, someone that's great at link up, first time passes. I feel like that's why maybe Amrin might need to kind of rethink his upfront situation a little bit. That's just my 2 cents on that. No, you know, I'm taking Ramos on loan. I wouldn't mind it, but I don't really want to take PSG's Dross. He scored 10 goals this season in about 1,000 minutes. It's actually quite a good record when you deep it in Ligue 1. Ligue 1 is very physical. Maybe he's just not in favor. But if Ramos was to come on loan and then somebody else was to also come on board, I'm not mad at that. Because, you know, I still believe Xerxes can work up front. So I wouldn't mind that. They're going to be asking for between 60 and 65 million from what Fabrizio said yesterday. Ben Jacobs has said it's going to be 50 million onwards. So upwards at that. The Discord is like a place where, you know, it's an app on your phone. It's a chill place. It's not toxic stuff. It's literally where everyone comes and talks. I'm there quite often every day. Not by force either. So if anyone wants to join, the link's literally in the pin, or someone can just post it. So yeah. But anyways, I'm going to go over to a Gal show and talk some more nonsense. So can we go and raid a Gal's channel? I'm going to be on there for about a good half an hour or so. Where is his channel? Why can I not find your channel, Gal? There we go. He's live right now. Let's go raid him. I'm going to join in and then we're going to waffle some more. Anyone that hasn't subscribed or liked the video, then on the way out, much appreciated. What do you think of Daichi Kamada as a TDM with Bruno? No, not for me. He's a little bit older now. He's a very good player though. I'm a big fan. So yeah, I'm going to be back later on.